Bill Poker fans. I am filming this from a little walk area here at my campus at work. I have to say, it's not really great to be back home when it comes to the poker world. I have got the Post-WSOP poker blues. So for weeks and weeks and weeks, I looked forward to going to the World Series of Poker. I was doing the weight loss challenge and, thinking about the tournaments I was going to play in, the cash games I was going to play in. And then it all happened. I did very, very well, or not quite as well as I'd want to, but I did well. While I'm in Vegas, I'm playing in tournaments that are for hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes millions of dollars. There's excitement. There's adrenaline. I can go to a different casino every single day if I want to. There's excitement going on the strip. There's just hundreds of things going on. I'm seeing people who are poker famous, Scotty Wynn, Neeme and Owen. I got pictures with them. Grant Dennison, Mike Sexton, all these people that I got pictures with, that I got to talk to about poker and just have fun. I'm simply at the mecca of poker for the year that lasts for 8 weeks, right? And I'm playing against some of the absolute best players in the world, of course some of the worst also, but it validates your play when you do well there. So I come home and it's kind of a big letdown. I'm playing in my league, and my league is fantastic, good players and everything, but it's an $80 tournament where I can win $600. Or I go to WinStar with my son and it's a $65 tournament where you can win maybe $1,500. Or the cash games are fine, 2-5 at WinStar or 5-10 when there's a game. And you can do okay, but you're playing against the same players all the time. There's not a whole lot of change in venue, and everything just seems the same. So it's kind of a letdown. So given all that, my concentration was definitely not the same this week. My desire to play was not as good. It's just that everything seemed the same. The old mundane, same old, and that is not good for your attitude and for how things might play out. Bottom line is, all these things together normally are going to equal some pretty poor play, and that's what happened to me this week. I played awful. But in spite of playing just awful, terrible, horrible this week, I still won money. I put together a little chart, one way or the other, that shows, how often I think I play well versus how often I play poorly, and how often that results in wins versus losses. So sometimes you can play well and win, sometimes you play well and lose, sometimes you play awful and you lose, and sometimes play awful and win. And that was me this week. I just played awful this week. I still ended up getting good results, and that's why results lie. Results just lie. What we need to make sure as poker players is we're making good decisions. If you make good decisions, then eventually results will follow. I was in the advantageous position this week where I played poorly and I still got good results. And I'll take the results, but boy, I sure don't want to take the play, because the play was awful. So I had to work on Thursday night, Friday morning for like 2 in the morning till 5:30 in the morning, and I worked some other hours. So I had Friday afternoon where I could go play, and so I told my son I was going to go play, and he said, all right, I'll go with you. And he talked me into playing in the $65 tournament at WinStar. I was going to go up there and play cash. Son, I did play, and I probably shouldn't have played because I just did not have the right attitude. Just minutes after sitting down, I really didn't want to play. So I'm just blasting my chips in there with absolutely nothing many, many times. I did learn that if you're playing 100, 200, or 150, 300, and you get a bunch of limpers in front of you, and you go all in for 6,000 or 7,000 chips, nobody's going to call you. I did that with 2-5 of spades, Jack 9. I think I did it once with 7-10, and I won every single time. It's not very good play, but I did get some chips, and I learned a few things. I got my money in on a horrible, horrible call where I just knew I was behind, but I wanted to go play cash, and so I got knocked out on a hand that was just, I never should have been in the first place, and then I made a horrible call. But that was what the tournament was. I just didn't have the right attitude. Unfortunately, I went to the cash game, and my attitude really didn't change much. I it was again, the post-WSOP blues. I wanted to play big games. I wanted to have excitement, and I didn't have any of those things. So I played poorly. So in fact, here's one of the worst hands I've probably played ever. I was in the cutoff with ace of clubs, 10 of clubs. I had about $475 playing in a 2-5 game. There was one limper. I raised it to 20 and ended up, there was 4 callers, so there was 5 of us to the flop. So the flop comes 7 of hearts, 8 of hearts, 10 of spades. It's check, check, check to the hijack, who bets 40. This is an older guy, pretty tight, but I have top, so I decided to raise to 120. So far, absolutely nothing wrong. I like my play so far. The problem is the small blind behind me then shoves all in for 325. The hijack folds, and now I'm hemming and hawing, figuring what to do. So I'm trying to talk myself into this player doing this with a 1-pair hand with a flush draw or just a big flush draw, even though on previous hands, every time he had raised like this, he was raising with a super strong hand and maybe even the nuts. But because I was in the wrong attitude, I talked myself into he could have 10 of hearts with another heart. He could have 9, 10 of hearts. He could have 9 of hearts with another big heart. And I made the call, which was just awful. He says, well, I've got the nuts so far. So he had 9 jack. Oh, man, that's really horrible. So I put a little chart up right here of just how far behind I am to even chop or to win the pot. So the turn comes at 9 and gives me a little hope. Now I have about a 6% chance of a chop. And the river is a jack. Holy cow. I end up chopping the pot, making some money on a hand that I played absolutely horribly. Once again, I'll say it again, results lie. I played awful. I didn't deserve to get any of that money. I deserved to lose my whole stack or whatever I matched the effective stack. And instead, I ended up winning money on that hand. Don't lie to yourselves, guys. Results will lie. Make good decisions, and eventually you'll make money. So just to let you know, I didn't play every hand horribly. I actually played the next hand that I'm going to share very, very well. So I'm in middle position with ace-jack. I have about $500. It checks to me. I'd make it 25, and the button calls. Button was a very, very good player. The flop has 55 in it and comes ace of hearts, ace of clubs, 3 of hearts. I lead out for 20. I think that most players check here, and I wanted him to think that I was just trying to buy the pot. So I lead out for 20, and he makes the call. The turn, jack of spades, bingo bango. Man, I hit it all right there. I got the nuts. I still want to continue with my story that maybe I don't have an ace, so I bet 40, and he makes the call. By the way, I'm only doing this against a good player. If it was a poor player, I would have checked here, making it look like I didn't have an ace. But against a good player who knows that I might be trying to steal the pot, then I'm going to bet here. And this guy was a good player. So the river is the 7 of diamonds. So I decide here that I want to make an overbet to look like I miss hearts. Not sure what my bet size should be. Maybe it should have been even a little bit bigger. But I bet 140. He tanks for a little bit, makes the call, and says to me, "Did you miss hearts?" I turn over the nuts with ace-jack, and he mucks his hand. So as I said, I didn't play them all horrible. I just played some of them horrible and had a bad attitude. So with that said, I got to get over the fact that I'm not in Vegas anymore. I'm not playing for hundreds of thousands of dollars. The adrenaline's not the same. The excitement's not the same. But I got to get my head back, put on right, and just play well, play my A game again. I played really, really well in Vegas, and I need to be playing like that here. Of course, there's going to be some kind of letdown, but now that's got to be over with. And now it's time to play well again. And, of course, I think I'm going to do that going forward. So I didn't have a whole lot of hands to go over, so Billy had some interesting hands, and he's going to go over those couple of hands.
So after getting knocked out of the tournament on a horrible beat, I sat down to play 1-2, and I was kind of steamed up, So I was playing pretty loose, and I think I raised and won 5 hands in a row. And I 3-bet this one guy, and he did not seem happy about it. And the player that I just mentioned, and another player limped under the gun +2. So I made it 15, and I think I got 4 callers, so there's 5 of us to the flop. And the flop was Queen Jack 3 with 2 diamonds. So check to me, and I bet 25, I believe, 25. And I got 1 caller, the player that
was steamy.
Yeah, he didn't think I had anything.
Yeah, he didn't like that you were raising him. Okay.
Yeah, so the turn was an offsuit 6. Didn't change anything. So he checked to me, and I bet $40, and he raised me to $80. He just clicked it back.
So what does an $80? What does a raise to 80 mean to you here?
Well, I didn't think he had much. I think he just thought I didn't have anything.
Because he was still steamy at you.
Yeah, I think he would have raised Queen Jack on the flop. He might not have, but so that's in there a little bit. Pocket 3s maybe. That's I don't know. Ace Queen maybe.
Most of the time you think he's waiting.
Yeah, but I think he could be raising complete air sometimes, and King 10, 10 9s, stuff like that, flush draws.
Okay.
So I called, and the river was another 6, which is a great card.
Oh my gosh,
perfect
it's the best card in the world for you.
So, he leads out for 175, and it just makes no sense.
Your story makes no sense,
I'm beating
sir.
Queen Jack now. He pretty much the only thing he says he has is
pocket 3s.
Pocket 3s, and maybe he got crazy with Queen 6 under the gun and limped. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
but
probably
Pocket 3 is the only thing he says. So I called, and he said, I missed, and threw his hand in the muck.
So he pretty much gave you like $250.
Pretty much.
Ridiculous.
So a little bit later in the session, I got King 7 of clubs on the button, and I hadn't played that many hands in a while, so...
Only raised 7 in a row earlier.
I think there was 3 limpers to me, and I was on the button, so I made it 15, and everybody called.
And you told me, the reason why I'm raising a little 15 years, I can beat these people post-flop every time, right?
So I raised the 15, and everybody called. So there's 5 ways to the flop. The flop was Jack, 8, 6 with 2 clubs.
Not bad.
Yeah, so checked all the way to me. I don't think there's any way a continuation bet is getting through here, so I decided to take the free card. It's good to check back sometimes with your flush draws. You can't bet them all.
I think that's a good idea because you're never going to get that all the way through.
So I checked it back, and the turn was, I believe, the 3 of clubs. So I made my flush.
Second nuts.
The first act player bet 25. Player next to him called fold, and then I decided to just flat. They didn't have too much behind, so I think flatting here and then raising on the river would get the most money. So I flatted. The river was, I think it was a brick. It didn't change anything.
Red nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then under the gun player let out for 40. And he only had about 100 at this point. He let out for 40. Player next to him shoved all in for 110. So I called because he had more than the player, and that guy folded. And he ended up having queen, deuce of clubs or something. So
he had the second nuts.
The third.
Sorry, you had second nuts. He had third nuts.
Yeah. So
oh my goodness, that's a pretty good hand. Yeah.
When you decide to raise king 7 of clubs.
And then hit second nut flush, that's pretty good. So what were your results for? So you lost $65 in the tournament, very, very small tournament. What were your results in the cash game?
I bought him for $200 and cashed out for $875 about an hour and a half later.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So Billy, tell them what you think about the 1-2 game, at least the 1-2 game at WinStar that you just played in.
I don't know why I don't play in it every weekend.
Why is that?
It's probably this weekend especially, but I think it's probably the easiest game I've ever played in.
Yeah.
It was just
easy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that you were getting great cards. I mean, you won lots of hands where you bet and they all go away, or somebody bets, you raise, they all go away. It was just easy, right? Okay, so Billy, tell them the difference between playing in that soft, easy WinStar 1-2 game and the Wednesday Night Poker League, which is also 1-2 game.
Oh yeah, so-called 1-2 game. It does not play at all like a 1-2 game.
Are the players better?
The players are much better, and a lot of the reason is because the money doesn't. It's harder to play because the money doesn't mean as much to these players.
There's a lot of us who are 2-5 and 5-10 players, but we play 1-2 because that's what some of the guys want to play.
Yeah, so it's.
Can you get a $20 raise?
You can't get anybody off of a draw.
Yeah. Now, and the players are just better also, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would suggest that the Wednesday Night Poker League, though, has helped your game tremendously.
Yeah.
Made you much, much better. I know it's made me a much, much better player, too. So, kudos to the Wednesday Night Poker gang. Right, Billy?
Oh, yeah.
So, an update on my Wednesday Night Poker League buddies. Not so hot so far. Nobody cashed but me so far. Still 2 guys are going to go play later, and hopefully they'll do well, but it did not turn out well at all for my other buddies, and I will probably do an update on another vlog of what happened to them. I do want to say good luck to my friends Brent and Josh, who are in Vegas now. Josh is actually on day 2 of a Venetian, I think an $1,100 tournament, and he made day 2. They're just about in the money. So Josh, good luck. I hope you score really big in that one. And Brent got to Vegas on Sunday. I think he's playing his first big tournament today, which is Monday. Brent, knock him dead, man. You're a great player, and you have every bit as good a chance of winning the big one as anybody else. Man, just play well, run well, and you'll do great. I forgot to say that I missed my weight loss challenge by half a pound. I made it to 180.5 for the World Series. That's still pretty good. I'm going to continue to not eat fast food, and I'm sure that I'll get down to maybe even 175 in the next couple of months. So pretty happy about how it went. So that's going to do it for this vlog. Thanks for all those who subscribed and gave me encouragement while I was at the World Series Poker. I got a lot of subscribers relative to my normal since I was there. So I hope you guys are enjoying these vlogs. Thank you so much. Hit the like button, subscribe button, tell your friends, and do all the things that you're supposed to do as my buddies. So I'll see you guys again next week.